H. Apollo and Podcast Network presents Rookie Revelation, the podcast for NFL fans who don't just follow the game, but they understand it at a deeper level. The insider's guide to the NFL draft, team building, and uncovering the hidden gems that could transform the league. Spot the stars before they shine. Rookie Revelation is your draft day edge. Join Jonathan and CJ as they present Rookie Revelation.
All right, so moving on to the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts this past year finished a record of 8-9 and got, I don't know. This team is just, it feels weird. I think this team needs to be rooted out. 8-9 is mediocre, right? So it's like you can fall into the place of being mediocre and thinking like, oh, we're good enough to make it, but like not really. Head coach Shane Steichen, former offensive coordinator for the Eagles, offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter, Gus Bradley, who I think got fired actually. He was the defensive coordinator this past year. Chris Ballard, the general manager here. They were in a 4-3 defense. This is the last year in the West Coast offense. Going to the quarterback position. D. What do you think?
I'd say D plus only because he still does have potential.
But does he?
He does.
This man has had back spasms since he was 12 years old. How do you hear that and be like, you know what? I want to build my franchise on his back.
Because have you seen him?
I have.
Have you heard him rap? Even if he can't make it an NFL quarterback, they can just turn the Indianapolis Colts into a music label and just profit off him as a rapper.
I guess. Give him a seat, give him a chair in the booth. I don't know, man. I think I'm out on Anthony Richardson. I just don't think. Because we had that like hope of like, oh, look at him, like look at the new trend. Start him early, bench him, and then give him another chance to go back out. And like we see the flashes, but then it's like it's literally a flash in the pan, and it's out again. He's a Zion Williamson, but we haven't seen the good. Like I don't know, like. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you're harsh but fair.
And backup Joe Flacco, as crazy as it sounds, I would start my year with Joe Flacco. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Joe Flacco has shown that he can, like, again, like, Joe Flacco similar to Andy Dalton in Carolina, right? Like, a savvy veteran who's been around, who's won the Super Bowl. You would think, like, he should be able to just, like, pick it up under him and, like, teach him, but like some of the stuff that just came out this year about him is just too damning for me. Like I didn't understand that you had to do this. Like, what do you mean? Like I get it, he's still very young. So this is similar. Like again, I'm using a lot of similes, a lot of comparisons. It's like Sam Darnold in a way because Sam Darnold was super young when he came into the league.
Seeing ghosts.
But at the same time, like it's still like he just hasn't played a lot of football. Like previously this year, he played 12 games since high school. Like, that's just not a lot of football.
Okay, I got a good one.
Okay.
Who did you say he was? You said he was like
Sam Darnold, Zion?
You said it was like Zion. I got a better one. He's Trey Lance.
Oh.
He hasn't played football.
And so Trey Lance kind of looked decent against the Commanders last week. Like, and again, like, I want him. I think he's like a Malik Willis. Like, I think he have an opportunity.
Malik played football. Trey Lance didn't play football.
And Trey Lance legit didn't play football for like he didn't play football for a couple years because of the COVID year. He's the biggest detractor from COVID. All right, so D for quarterbacks for the Indianapolis Colts. Moving on to running backs, Jonathan Taylor, dog. But my hot take, and we'll talk about this later. I think Jonathan Taylor needs to be traded.
Oh,
yeah. Honestly, listening to a lot of Pat McAfee, he's really up close with this team. I would either obviously good running back class, but I would run it out there with Trey Sermon, Tyler Goodson, and then draft a running back. Also, okay, I will get. You know what? I will give this quarterback room a C minus because of Joe Flacco being good at 39. 40.
I think we'll give him a D plus.
D plus. That's perfect. That's perfect. They deserve a D. Pause.
Hey yo.
But I think Jonathan Taylor's still pretty serviceable. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns. So I think and he's still 25. Holy crap. You definitely can build this team around Jonathan Taylor, but something needs to be something has to change. Unless they're just going to just run it back one more year with this team and hopefully they can get over that 8-win buffer. But I think try to get you a couple seconds. What would you pay for Jonathan Taylor? He's worthy of at least a second-round pick.
I got Chuba Hubbard, so I'm not paying nothing for him.
I'm not talking about whatever.
I got a better running back already.
I would pay for Jonathan Taylor. I'll give a 2/3 for Jonathan Taylor.
Y'all could probably get him for B-Rob in a second.
That's too much. B-Rob in a third.
B-Rob in a third that could become a second.
I would even give them Jeremy McNichols. Or I really like Chris Rodriguez. I like Chris Rodriguez a lot. I'd love his running style. I wouldn't want to trade him. But yeah, B-Rob in the third, we can make that deal. I will go all out second round pick for sure. But he might have to go for a first, actually. I mean, he's a young in his prime back. And I think he just got paid.
That's why I think he goes for another back in a second, or he goes for 2 seconds, or maybe just a first. A late first.
But he has a $15 million cap hit next year.
Let's say Pacheco.
Don't you even dare.
Gets hurt.
Don't you even dare.
The Chiefs just send their first for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I would do that if I was both teams.
Yeah. If we sign T. Higgins.
You're not.
And we go to the Super Bowl like I project. Yeah, for sure. I'll give him a first round pick for him.
You're not. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
So what are we giving this running back room?
C plus. B for sure. You got me. B plus. B plus.
I was like, C, but is Jonathan Taylor hurt? And I don't know.
Well, I'm just looking at the depth. Because, at first, my first thought process was remembering when they had Zach Moss. And Zach Moss was such a dog last year for them. Mm-hmm. But then I forget, he's hurt. He's with the Bengals. Yeah. So that it's kind of had to remind myself that.
Yeah.
Wide receiver room. I like this wide receiver room. I don't love it. This wide receiver room gives me shades of the Green Bay Packers. I'm a big fan of A.D. Mitchell. Love him.
Who's the other receiver?
Anthony Pittman? Not Anthony Pittman.
So I put a C, I want to say. Last name.
Wait, who are you talking about? Say it again.
The white receiver?
Oh, Alec Pierce?
Alec Pierce. I could not think
So we got Michael Pittman, Alex Pierce, and Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell, Ashton Doolin, Anthony Gold.
Did you see Pittman?
Treadwell was on his roster.
Did you see Pittman played the whole season with a fractured back?
No, I did not see that.
That came out today.
See, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these things coming out. Yes, kudos.
He said 28, 56, 98, and there was some other number. Deserve my best every week. So if I can play through it, I'm going to. So that's Jonathan Taylor.
But if you deserve your best, then you shouldn't play.
But if you at not your best is still better than the person behind you.
That's what he thinks, but it's not true.
Is it? Like you said, Laquan Treadwell, Ashton Doolin.
That's like 6. That's wide receiver 5 and 6. Don't disrespect A.D. Mitchell, Alex Pierce,
was starting for half
and
the
Josh
season.
Downs.
Josh Downs was out for most of 8 games.
Yeah, but once he played, brother, he might have been out. You might have thought he was out, but he was not getting targeted by AR. As soon as Joe Flacco came in, Josh Downs became wide receiver 1.
Yeah, Josh Downs is good, but
He's
he
a
missed
dog.
half the year. So A.D. Mitchell was already starting. Alec Pierce was already starting. He said, "Dang, if I'm not playing, Laquan Treadwell's playing." He said,
But
"I better be playing."
he should have went to the not play because he saw how much Anthony Richardson will overthrow you. To be honest with you,
But he did name Anthony Richardson as one of the numbers who deserved his best.
And all right, so what's it? So where's the splits? This is pissing me off. Splits. So Josh Downs played. Why don't you show me all the games he's played in a number? This is annoying. Okay, he played 14 games this year, so he only missed 3.
Who?
Josh Downs missed 3 games this year
It felt like way more.
because Anthony Richardson stinks. He had 72 catches for 803 yards and 5 touchdowns.
It was Quentin Nelson, Jonathan Taylor, and DeForest Buckner are the guys.
The leadership
Michael
of this
Pittman
team.
said need deserve his best.
Fair. So, I mean, I think he's wide receiver 1. I think he's 23 years old. He is your leader going forward. You got to get A.D. Mitchell involved. You got to get A.D. Mitchell involved. A.D. Mitchell had 23 catches, 312 yards. Let me see how many games he played. Did he play? Did he get hurt? Or was he just feelings hurt for not being able to get any targets? He played all 17 games. That is abysmal. Yeah, not good. But I think they have a lot of talent at the receiver position. Obviously, but we just got to see it. Obviously, we know what Michael Pittman Jr. can. Josh Downs has been good last 2 years. Did Pittman resign?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got him for the long run. He had 69 catches for 808 yards and 3 touchdowns. So no receiver with 1,000 yards.
Correct.
And an out. Oh, dang. I mean, but it's also kind of impressive. They got 3 receivers with 800 yards.
800 yards, yeah.
So that is, and Alec Pierce 7 touchdowns too. So they have 4 receivers that I think are pretty solid. I will give this receiver room a B plus. I'll say B because
I think B's fair.
I don't know if I think Michael Pittman is a true number 1.
How many true number 1s are there though? Like, does every team have a true number 1?
I don't know. Definitely not. Okay. Definitely not. The Patriots definitely don't.
Yeah.
I don't even think the Patriots have a wide receiver 2.
Probably not.
But I think
either do the Chargers. Well, no, they got Ladd.
Chill out. Okay. I was about to say, I thought he was about to have a fight.
He's a wide receiver 2.
He's top tier wide receiver 1. He's AB. He's cracker of the day. Cracker of the year. All right, so Jesus. Yes, I think it's a B. I think Josh Downs has honestly Josh Downs has the ability to be a high-end wide receiver too. I think Pittman Jr. is a wide receiver. He's borderline high-end wide receiver too, but he's a certified wide receiver 2. I think Josh Downs has the ability to be a high-end wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 1. And I think that same thing of A.D. Mitchell. Alex Pierce is a solid wide receiver 3. He's like a sneaky guy. I like him. But we got to see the development. And again, it all comes down to your quarterback position.
Yeah.
Moving on to tight end, they have a ton of tight ends.
But are any of them good?
Well, I think, who was his name? I don't think he even played this year. I don't think Mo Ali Cox played this year, did he? They have another tight end. I had him on my fantasy team, and I kept him on IR all year.
Kylan Granson?
No.
Drew Ogletree? Will Allen?
I gotta look at it, but I thought it was Mo Alley because they had a tight end I liked that wanted. It's a dynasty league too. Let me pull it up real quick. Will Mallory, I think, has upside to be pretty solid, but we'll see. Oh yeah, Jelani Woods.
I don't think he played at all this year, did he?
No, he was on IR the whole time. I don't know. Turf toe. He missed the entire year due to turf toe?
Hey, they play in a dome. All they got is turf. How you expect it to get better?
That's fine. Okay. So I mean, who's title one? Kylan Granderson, 14 catches for a 182. Mo Ali Cox should be tied at one. Like
How many catches did he have?
Let's see. Mo had 12 catches for 147 and 1 touchdown.
Okay, so this tight end group stinks. Are we giving them a C- or a D?
I'll probably get. Let me see what Drew Obertree. And I think as 9 catches, 109 yards. Let's give it a D.
Pause.
And Will Mallory. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys, like, you know what I mean? But, I mean, obviously, they're mostly blocking tight ends, to be honest with you. Okay. Offensive line. Obviously, Quentin Nelson, cornerstone piece, might be falling off a little bit. Ryan Kelly, one of their cornerstone pieces. He's 31 now. Their tackle position. Well, my computer is not loading.
They got Bernard Ryman at left tackle, Quentin Nelson at left guard, Ryan Kelly at center, Mark Glowinski at right guard, and Matt Goncalves at right tackle.
I'm giving this offensive line a C.
That's their starters. And then at left tackle, they have Blake Freeland, who I think he came out of Notre Dame either this year or this past year or the year before that.
They like their Notre Dame guys, huh?
Danny Pinter, Tanner Bordellini, the Wisconsin center, I believe.
They got him they listed him at guard, so he might be a tweener.
I think he's just their sixth man. Like, he's listed as backup guard, center, or both guard spots and center.
I like him. I liked him coming out the draft last year.
He's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think they're that good. It's a lot of Big Ten guys on this offensive line. So they had the idea. Matt Goncalves from Pitt. He's young. He's only 6'23". I'm gonna just give this a C. I'm gonna give him a C.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. They could definitely use an upgrade at
I'm gonna give him a C plus just because they still have Q and Ryan Kelly. I think that those two alone should be a C plus.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely if Tanner can come in and play right guard for them next year, that kind of definitely helps the youth because I mean Mark Glowinski is 32.
30, yeah.
And then I don't know how Raymond is. Raymond's 27, so I mean, yeah, he'd be 23, so that would help the youth because Nelson's 27 and Ryan is 31. Ryan Kelly, excuse me, is 31. So I mean, but they still just not the best. You can go C plus. That's fine. All right, moving on to the defensive side of the football. Kwity Paye, man, Michigan man, 8 sacks this year. Solid, pretty solid. DeForest Buckner, he's getting up there, isn't he? He's 30. He had 6.5 sacks this year. Pretty good year. That's pretty solid. Interior guy.
And they got Deo Odeyingbo at the other end spot.
They got 3 sacks. 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Latu, man. I haven't heard much from him. Like, he started off strong, but I haven't heard his name. I see he's hurt. He's questionable. Suffered a shoulder injury. He had 4 sacks this year, 3 forced fumbles. Pretty good. I really like Latu Latu. He's one of my favorite defensive ends last year. He was my defensive end one last year, to be honest.
They also have
Zaire Franklin. Always okay.
No.
You got Tyquan Lewis.
Tyquan Lewis is solid, and then they have Ade, the defensive tackle from was it Kansas State a couple years ago, who had like a freak show combine. Ade Tomiwa, bro. Ade.
Yeah. He went to Northwestern.
Northwestern, my bad. And purple was in my head. I got the wrong school.
Fair. Yeah. Like this, and then Grover Stewart. How old is Grover? Is he 30 something? He's 31. 3.5 sacks. I think they could go younger on his defensive line. Like Quiddy Pay's still young. Dio is, I think, 25. So I think interior, because I think Buckner and Grover are like 30s.
Yeah. But if they can get Ade to take a step forward, that's one, and they just need to find another one.
I mean, they're obviously going to go in a different direction. A defensive coordinator, they fired Gus Bradley. So that should be interesting. I wonder if they're going to try to go a younger voice or maybe a more experienced voice. Obviously, they're going to have to try to wait and see how they head coaching positions. So obviously, you got Robert Salah, who I think, he has a job back at 49ers right now if he wanted to.
I think that's not what they wanted him back.
You know who I would love to see run this defense?
Who?
Charlotte native. I'm blanking on his name.
Steve Wilkes?
Steve Wilkes, thank you. Steve Wilkes. Because there's an accountability that this team needs. And Steve Wilkes from Jump Street. And that's one of the biggest things that you keep hearing with this Colts team they're lacking. Steve Wilkes, I think, will take over this defense and get these guys right. But we shall see. We'll be keeping a lookout for who they decide to go. So yeah, defensive line C+.
I think that's fair. DeForest Buckner is still one of the best interior defensive linemen. Grover Stewart's one of the best nose tackles in the league.
Quiddy Pay, I'm excited.
They're both 30. Quiddy Pay's young and ascending.
Quiddy Pay and Latu, I think they have the opportunity to have two solid edge rushers that both are young. So, and then with their veteran, I think they should maybe get another younger interior defensive lineman. They will have a young, thriving defensive line. And I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so EJ Speed had 93 tackles, 1 interception for the Colts this past year from Tarleton State. Zaire Franklin, one of the leaders of this team, 93 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. A dog. Absolute dog. How old? Dang,
The other starter is Jaylon Carlies. JAYLONCARLIES.
Let me ask you a quick question. How much, obviously, if the leadership seems to not be thriving for this Colts team, do you feel like as a GM you have to shake up the leadership group, and by getting someone and moving someone to, 1, get more draft capital, and 2, get fresh eyes to kind of reset the locker room?
It depends on if you feel like it is the leadership. Do you feel it's the players who are leadership, or do you feel it's coaching, or is it front office? What is the issue?
It's probably definitely top down. Because, you got to think about it. Chris Ballard has been here forever, for a really long time. So is it from the top down of just the players and the philosophy of the players bringing in? I think they do a decent job drafting. Obviously, the quarterback position has been tough for them ever since Andrew Luck decided to up and retire. Yeah, I don't know. I hate to say it because I really like him as offensive coordinator, but Shane Steichen just might not be head coach material right now. Because I think one of his statements he said in his press conference is like, well, not everybody's going to be on time every meeting. So it's, you know, it's not like they're late every meeting. So you can't say that. You can't say that. So that just makes you look like you want a sloppy shop. All right. So linebacker group, I mean, Zaire is really good. I think Zaire really just like he's
part of that leadership group, though.
he is a part of that leadership group. And he's still in his prime. Like he's 28. He's very much in his prime.
He out here beefing with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
He need to be beefing with the people he plays
has a
against every
podcast
Sunday.
too, right?
Yeah, they both do. It's EJ Speed and Zaire Franklin's podcast.
That's okay. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, they both got 90+ tackles. So they're obviously the two leaders of that defense. So
Neither
like,
one of them got 100 though.
He done got 100. Neither got 100. If they might have had 100, they might have had a couple more wins. I don't know. I think you have to make a shakeup on this team. But like again, they might just run this into the dirt and then they're going to be gone next year. Unfortunately, I'm gonna give a B. I really like these linebackers. I'll say B. Depth is not there, but really strong. EJ Speed and Zaire are pretty strong.
Okay, I'll give them a B minus. I think they're both put up empty stats.
Fair.
Like y'all not winning. Y'all out here podcasting.
Podcast P.
Out here beefing with Pat McAfee, bro.
Yeah. Who's been like the biggest. Like, the fact that Pat McAfee went heel on them, like, I've never heard Pat McAfee mad. Like, he's always.
I've never heard him say anything bad about the Colts. So the fact that he went off on them
for like a week straight. Like,
they need to make a shakeup with the leadership. These are the two of the leaders on that defense.
Yeah.
So one, I don't think either one of them is really like that good. Like I don't think they're all Pro Bowl caliber linebackers to begin with. Like they're solid, but they're not good enough to be talking like this.
Fair.
In my opinion.
I respect that.
But what do I know? I just watched the best linebacker duo of the last decade play. So,
hey, I'm watching greatness right now. I'm watching one of the best. I went from watching the worst linebacker core. I remember watching Mason Foster and Will Compton talk about podcasts, and then now watching Frankie Louvu and Bobby Gold Jacket Wagner play linebacker, and it's like, whoa, is this the standard? And let me tell you right now, give Bobby Wagner a 2-year deal, and I want him to retire in DC. He has so much juice still. But I'm hoping Jordan Maggie develops for us. Okay, this secondary, Nick Cross, is one of our guys. He's one of our guys that we pigeon, a Maryland corner, or Maryland they seem to turn out like a pretty decent corner every year, just about. So we got Juju Brents, second-year man from Kansas State.
Is he on IR?
He says he's questionable. He had a growing. So he played last game. Juju Brents. We got Jalen Jones, who had 2 interceptions this year, 66 tackles. 7th-round pick last year. So, I mean, a 7th-rounder starting for you guys. And then you got Kenny Moore in the slot. He had 3 interceptions, 7 passes. Kenny Moore is definitely their best DB. Him and Nick Cross. Who's how Nick Cross did this year? 3 interceptions, 87 tackles. Pretty good year. 5 pass defense. Man, what a steal in the 3rd round. They also got another of my guys that I like, and I was kind of mad that he went to the Colts. I can't remember. I'm trying to look at their drafts.
Julian Blackman?
That's Oklahoma State?
I think it was Utah.
Oh, yeah, that safety from Utah?
Yeah.
Yes. Did he go to the Colts? Anyway, yeah, definitely can use a corner. Julian Blackman had 3 interceptions, 4 passes. Like he had a pretty good year. He's gonna be due for a contract. Actually, did he get re-upped? Let's look, because he's in year 4 and he was a 3rd-round pick. Yeah, I mean he's not on a contract next year, so we shall see the turnover on the defense. I'm really interested to see the turnover on the defensive side of the football. Yeah, corners. I'm gonna go C.
For the secondary?
Yeah, for the secondary. Excuse me.
C overall or C
Yeah,
plus?
C
C
overall.
minus? C. Okay. C.
What do you feel? You think?
I think that's fair.
Okay. Because I do like Kenny Moore and Nick Cross. I think they're 2 bright spots, but even still, like I don't think they're like super standouts. But also they're still decent. Like I know Nick Cross is only 2, and then yeah, Blackman's solid, but he's not going to be there next year, so he'll be a guy in demand. Okay. And all right, coaching. I'm gonna go.
Oh, draft capital first.
Oh, draft capital.
What pick do they have? They have the 14th pick.
Okay.
So they currently have their 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. They got all their picks.
All their picks is a plus. That's good. They're going to need it. And I think they have an opportunity to get more in stockpile. And I think this is a year that you need to stockpile and start to clean house. But who knows?
I'd say it's like a B minus in terms of grade. Like they have all their picks, but they're like.
Where's their 1st-round pick? Where's their 1st-round pick, though?
14th.
Yeah, so they got a middle of the 1st-round pick, which is it's not bad because you're going to get a good play in the middle of the draft. Like that's a good spot to be in.
Yeah. I say it's like a B.
B minus is fine.
B minus. Because yeah, it's not like they have an extra pick in there. Like they don't have an
Right.
extra 2nd or extra 3rd or anything like that. So. Okay. So coaching staff, they got.
Let's see. One defense coordinator fired. Jim Bob Cooter. Great name.
Oh.
Terrible.
Coach, yeah.
I like Steichen as offensive play caller, but other than that, I mean, it doesn't seem to be a good leader. He won. How many games they win last year? They won 9 games last year, and they won 8 games this year, so they regressed a game. He's Jeff Fisher.
He's 17-17.
Yeah.
So we want to give him a C for
C
coaching, or
for average, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even C minus, honestly. Yeah, you got to go C minus, right? They got a coach fired. One of the coaches fired.
Yeah. Until we know who's replacing him as DC, we gotta.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. So GM front office, they got Chris Ballard.
I like they have an assistant GM that I really like, super country Southern dude. He was one of the guys I was looking at for GM last year. They actually have 2 assistant GMs, if I'm not mistaken. So Latu, I like. AD Mitchell, I like. 2 guys I really like. I mean, Latu made an impact this year. Tanner's a backup. Matt Goncalves is a starter for them, so that's good. And then where's 2023?
Is it Ed Dodds? Is that the guy you're thinking of?
Ed Dodds.
Was that the assistant GM you said you liked?
Yes. He's light skinned, right?
Maybe.
I don't think it's because it's funny because it's like a really country dude guy and it's like a clean cut. I like both of them. Because I thought they did good for the most part at like talent scouting. But
No, Ed Dodds is white.
yeah, Ed Dodds, he's bald, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ed Dodds is solid, but it's the other dude. I can't think of his name. He might be senior player personnel.
Let's see. They got Mike Bloom, Joe Fonderoli.
So looking at the last 2 years, their best draft pick right now is Josh Downs, easily. Obviously, the goal is for Anthony Richardson to be the best pick they've had over the last 2 years. But Julius Brents, Josh Downs, Anthony Richardson are starters for them. Adi starts from the D tackle. Will Evan Hall, Jalen Jones. Jalen Jones gets a lot of minutes for them. He's played 33 games for them. So it's nothing exciting. They got one, I would say one, I think is a rock star. And Josh Downs. I think it's still too early for Latu, but he was solid, battled through injuries. So I'll say 1.5. I think AD Mitchell should be a star for them, but quarterback position is going to be really dictate how many receivers they're going to eat for them, especially because they got 4 guys who are decent. So I'm gonna go C plus.
C plus.
I
was gonna go C minus, so we can maybe meet in the middle and go C. Straight C.
Yeah, that's good with me.
Okay. And then overall talent, like we said, they got DeForest Buckner, still a dog.
They're
Grover
top
Stewart,
heavy.
very top heavy.
Top heavy team. Like overall talent, I'll probably give them like a C. But it's tough because it's like their top talent is pretty solid. Like
it is, but they don't have it at the right positions.
Yeah.
Like one of your best players is your nose tackle, which respectfully, not the most impactful position on.
Yeah, like your nose tackle, your middle linebacker, your guard, and a receiver.
And it's a slot receiver.
Oh, running back.
So it's not a quarterback. It's not an edge rusher. It's not an outside receiver.
C minus. C.
I like C minus.
All right, that's cool.
Oh, you want to go straight C?
You got it.
We can go C. We'll go C. Free agents. What we got?
Okay. Who's the safety we just talked about?
Julian Blackmon.
Julian Blackmon's going to be gone. They just re-up Pittman. Is Pierce going to be a free agent? Or is he only year 3?
He's either going into year 3 or just finished year 3.
So he got drafted 2022, so 22, 23, 23. So yeah, he's about to go into year 4, which will be in his last year of his deal. It'd be interesting to see if he resigns.
Oh, Ryan Kelly is a free agent.
Oh, interesting.
That is interesting.
That just means Tanner can just step in, and then you just have to get some guard help.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly's a free agent. Mo Alley Cox, Joe Flacco, EJ Speed, Julia Blackmon, Ashton Doolin, Taven Bryan.
I don't think EJ comes back.
Dayo Odeyingbo, the starting defensive end.
Yeah.
Danny Pinter, one of their backup guards. Trey Sermon, Kylan Granson, Juwan Winfrey, Sam Ellinger, Will Fries, Grant Stewart, Trevor Denbow, Wesley French, Tyler Goodson. So both their backup running backs are free agents. Cam McGrone, Segun Olubi, 2 of their backup linebackers, also free agents. So they have 21 total.
Honestly, I would
say the biggest one is Ryan Kelly.
Yeah. I mean, he's 31. You kind of already drafted his replacement this past year, so like you can let him walk. Yeah, I mean, maybe
other big
outside
ones
of your tackle.
EJ Speed starting.
I don't think he's coming back. I think you have to let him go.
Yeah, I think he's gone, but he'll
get money somewhere.
Somebody they need to address. because, like I said, 3 of their backup outs our linebackers are also free agents, so they can't just move somebody who was a backup into a starting position.
Right. Okay.
And then Trey Sermon, I would say, is also another one, in addition to Mike or Goodson, Tyler Goodson.
They also rank 17th in the league in cap space of $52 million, so they'll have some move to maneuver next year, and then this year, and then they only will have $816 million in dead cap, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So what's the overall grade we're going to give them based on their overall talent? We gave them a C. Their draft capital, we gave them a B minus. Coaching staff, we gave them a C minus. GM front office, we gave a C.
I will have to say overall C, because yes, they're just at they're average, and
Yeah.
that's the problem.
And they have talent around them, but not at that quarterback position yet. So
Right.
I don't think you can go higher than C. So I'm not mad at that.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Rookie Revelation. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget, rate and leave a review. It helps us bring you even more draft day insights. You got a player you're keeping your eye on, or a draft take you're dying to share? Reach out to us on social media at Hate2Pile or drop an email at hate2pylon@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. But until next time, remember, the future of football starts here. We'll see you next week on the Rookie Revelation. The Rookie Revelation will be televised.